Ooh,
Dude, look at
wow.
that. He hits him and just leaves. Oh, my God. Oh, no!
Oh, no.
Jesus Christ.
That was close, bro. That was
Fuck.
close. Damn, bro.
Oh, my God.
Just please don't lose your confidence.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Never Bored With MMA. I'm your host, George, with my co-host here.
Jason.
And guys, today we had a great fight for you. We have talking about UFC 314's main event for the vacant featherweight championship of the world. We got Volkanovski once again fighting against Diego Lopes, the rising up-and-comer in the featherweight division. Jason, this is going to be a crazy fight for sure because both these guys are so special, bring to the table. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. I like this fight. I would have really liked it if this was, coming off a title, victory over someone like Ilia Topuria. However, Ilia vacated, belt's up for grabs. I think he could have just defended his belt. This could have been an interim fight, but whatever. It is what it is. We're here now. So, Jason, give me your thoughts on this fight, man.
Dude, this one is very, it's definitely an interesting matchup. To be honest, I kind of wished it would have been Ilia versus Volk first because I know, I wanted to see what it would have looked like after Volk really took some time off and got to really prepare and let his mind rest, not his mind but his body rest, just really have time to just kind of recover from the knockout and put together a better game plan and maybe even try to beat Ilia, right? But with Ilia vacating the belt, going up to 155, the division has to continue. So next person in line was Diego Lopes, and man, that guy's been on a rampage. He's been knocking out almost everyone that he's been fighting as of recent.
Yeah.
What he did to Ortega, bro. Ortega took some real damage. And I think it was him and Ortega that were supposed to fight for UFC 3.
The Mexico card.
Mexico card,
yeah,
right?
The Mexico City card, yeah.
And, they still made the fight happen later on, and, bro, dude, he made him look silly. I'm not gonna lie. That was full on,
yeah.
We know Brian Ortega to be such a, crazy fighter. He does amazing things. He's put on some amazing shows, against Volk.
Yeah.
But, bro, Diego just stormed, just ragdolled him and beat him up. And I don't remember if it was a decision or if it was a stoppage, but dude, Diego Lopes is going to be a tough opponent in this fight, and honestly, I am a little nervous for Volk even just taking this fight because the way Diego fights, he doesn't like letting it be a decision fight. And I think the last person he had a real decision with was against Ige, actually.
Yeah.
And that was a short notice fight for Ige.
Right.
So he's been knocking all of his opponents, and with the way Volk has been coming up as of recent with the 2 losses in the last 2 fights, it's
it's gonna be a tough fight.
Yeah, it's kind of scary because it's man, bro, are you sure you're ready to? He always was saying a lot oh, I want to I just want to stay active. I want to stay active. I want to stay active.
Right.
And he was eager to come back, but sometimes that's not always the good thing. To come back, coming back especially when you've been knocked out in your last 2 fights.
Right.
But I guess that's also a chip on your shoulder. Hey, I fell down twice. Let's see if I can come back up, and it could be a great story too. So I don't know, man. There's a lot to this fight, man. That's
I mean, I 100% agree with you, Jason. I think that with this fight coming up, we get to see this Volk still have what it takes to be with the top of the top because he's been basically fighting. Was it Max Holloway? It's just championship fights over and over again, right? And he's shown that he is the top of the division for a reason. However, once Ilia came up and really shattered some of that mythos that that Volk had to him, right? That knockout was still crazy. I mean, Islam did it too, but that was in his weight division, so we can give him some grace, right?
Yeah.
But we got to still look at the facts in terms of the impact on the body. He's cutting down to a lower weight division, so more weight's coming off, more dehydration. On top of his last couple losses, last two losses have been both knockouts. That's got to have some effect on the person. Yeah, it's been a while since he's fought, but even still, it's still going to have some impact. And, what I appreciate about Volk is that he won't let that psychology part overtake him.
Yeah.
So, he'll find a way to conquer that part of it. When it comes to the fight, he's going to get someone like Diego Lopes, who he's statistically way better in the earlier rounds, and Volk is statistically worse in the earlier rounds.
Yeah.
Considering both of his finishes were before round 3.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, I mean, what's great about Volk is that he's one of the best volume fighters to ever do it. I remember one of the statistics his fight against Max Holloway. One of the fights was like 400 strikes.
Yeah.
In a whole, I'm like 400 strikes over a 5-round period, dude. That's
crazy.
fucking insane.
Yeah.
So you know he has the volume on his side, and he can pepper up his opponents. So against somebody like Diego Lopez, who's willing to throw it out there. Honestly, if you're just going by, technicality, I think Volk's style works great against someone like Diego because all he has to do is bob and weave, dash, avoid the takedown, and just keep peppering him with the round to make it a decision or wear him down so he gets the finish he needs, right? However, Diego Lopez is crazy. The dude's a manic insane.
He is.
The way he fights is like he does not care. He throws caution to the wind. And that makes it, in terms of promotability and excitement, that's a great thing to have in the UFC. And it's so entertaining to watch, right? I mean, he sees willing to do what it takes. I remember his first fight was Sornos against Mazev.
Oh, yeah. He lost. Yeah, he lost.
He lost, but he almost submitted him.
Yeah.
Which was crazy. I'm like, all right, man. Like, that's kind of wild. Like, short notice, you go up against, like, a Russian grappler and able to do that kind of shit. That's kind of insane. So you see that he's got what it takes to really, like, push forward and get to the fights. I mean, like, the Ige fight was a decision.
Yeah.
Which was a great test for a guy like Diego because he just, kept keeping that style on against someone like Ige, who's a monster, who early in the card just won his fight. Short, a little bit early stoppage, but he was doing great in that fight still, and still got that kind of finish out of the way. Yeah. So ultimately, though, I feel like, has he been tested for the upper echelon? He's not really.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got great fights under his belt, but he's so new to the thing that, like, you're going up against someone, a seasoned veteran who's also happened to be a champ.
And this is his first 5-round fight, I think.
And that's crazy because that means that puts Volk technically on the advantage, right? The only thing that's tearing down Volk is, like, okay, the knockouts, early statistical fights, but Volk's style theoretically should go well against someone like Diego Lopez. That being said, though, this is a fight. When that shit happens, all it takes is one strike, which, we saw that, when Volk was dodging Ilya's strikes, all it took was one hook, and then boom, it was game over, right?
Yeah.
So all it takes is one solid hit to connect on Volk's chin, and he's out. So that's the question: is can Diego secure that, create that scramble moments, which he's notoriously known for, if he keeps that similar style, or is he going to adjust a little bit for a championship fight? That's the thing we're going to have to really find out today. But Jason, I don't know, I think it's time for predictions. And I honestly, based on, I want to say Diego, just the hip spryness, but I think Volkanovski technically has all the tools he needs to beat a guy like Diego. I think that, again, Diego's younger, so I don't think the 5-round is going to be an issue, but all Volk has to do is keep to his plan, pepper him up, keep that side-to-side moving to avoid the grappling situations, and then he should be able to do what he needs to beat someone like Diego. Diego, I think, is going to, if he wins this fight, it's going to be in the earlier rounds 1 or 2, within 3 rounds.
Yeah.
If he was going to win, it would be definitely by a knockout or sub. But for Volk, I mean, again, Volk's not a crazy, like, knockout artist per se, right?
No.
So, but at the same time, he does have what it takes to knock people out. I think for this fight, especially for a chance to get his belt back, I think he's going to really focus on developing that style he's known for, the volume approach, volume with a little bit of power, throwing some leg kicks to really put Diego in his place from go crazy. Now the question is, can he do it in the earlier rounds? I don't know. That's the hard part of this thing. That I genuinely don't know how Volk's going to approach those earlier rounds. But if he's able to keep Diego off at least 3 rounds, then it's going to be swinging, I think, towards a decision win for Volk. So in a fight like this, I mean, this experience is going to be key on this, right? Like, Diego is, like, technically, this is the biggest jump in competition he's ever fought.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Significant. Going from someone like Ortega to Volk.
Yeah, it's a huge jump.
Right. So I think that, I'm not saying that, what was it? He's not going to be lucky enough to get the strike. I mean, it's a fight. But I think if Volk's really focused on his training like he has been throughout his years and, really develop that game plan to beat someone who's just brash like Diego, I think he should be fine. So I'm going to go with Volk. What about you, Jason?
Wait, what did you say? Volk?
I think Volk by decision.
Decision, okay.
Either a split or a unanimous decision.
Man. Honestly, yeah, I mean, with this fight, I like the story of Volk winning. I like that I guess that getting the belt back story and just being able to work your way back, because that's not something you see often as of recent with a lot of the older champs that have been champs for a bit. Like, they've all been kind of losing their belt. Right. Like, Kamaru, we mentioned it earlier, Kamaru being one. Even, like, in Pereira losing his belt recently. And this time around, I feel like Volk could be the one that changes the game and is able to win the belt back. And I actually, like you said, I don't really see Volk like knocking him out or anything like that.
Right.
But I do see like maybe probably a decision, honestly.
Yeah.
And this time, you know, they're fighting for the belt. No one is the champ right now, so I think I like there's not going to be any sort of like weirdness with the judging of like, oh, he's the champ, so you know the defender who is not defender, the person coming for the belt has to do more. Like sometimes that happens a little bit, but this time around, I don't think that's going to be a factor. And I'm gonna agree with you, bro. I think I'm gonna say Volk. Split decision, winning the fight.
I think that's a good pick. I mean, to be honest, if we eat crow by knockout Diego, so be it. That's fine. Honestly, that just makes this shit more exciting, and then it just gives, you know, it's gonna be like kind of like the Sean O'Malley effect, where it's like, you know, all it took is one punch. That's what I'm saying. Like with this fight, it's like you have someone who's so statistically skilled, like Volk, who's not perfect, but such a well-rounded performance in all his fights.
Yeah,
it's kind of similar to the Aljo situation too. Aljo's better at the grappling than he is the other parts of it, right? But you know that was a big threat to someone like O'Malley. So then that's what I'm saying, where it's like Volk has a full complete toolkit and has fought great guys just like Diego before. So I think Volk has what it takes. So guys, you got our picks for UFC 314's main event. Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes. Give us your thoughts below as you guys are reacting to our video. Let us know who you think was going to win this fight, and then finally you'll get our post-fight. We'll get our reaction, also our post-fight discussion as well. Guys, without further ado, here's a reaction to Diego Lopes versus Alexander Volkanovski for the featherweight championship of the world. Real, dude, it's happening. Volk versus Lopes
for the belt.
This is going to be a fucking insane matchup.
This is going to be either dominance or a knockout.
Wow, Diego's really normally goes kind of crazy really early on, but maybe he's tempering himself to save for the later rounds. Okay, you see the leg kicks already start? Yeah. Oh! No, this is what I don't want to see. I mean, I do, but damn.
I mean, Volk landed. I think Volk landed.
Yeah, but the trades.
Yeah, you don't want to trade with him. You don't want to be trading with Lopes, bro.
Yeah, dude. Oh!
Damn. Hell yeah.
Don't say that shit, Joe. Don't fucking say that shit.
He looks like just like Volk. Oh no!
No. Yeah.
There's the old Volk back, and boom. Oh, geez.
Yeah, dude. Like those shots.
It's like scary, dude.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh my god,
dude.
Oh no. Oh my god.
Go.
I'm so scared right now. I'm happy, but I'm scared. I like how Volk's keeping it really all at the center of the octagon.
Yeah.
The last time he got cooked, it was on the cage.
It was a movement, He was going back and.
Yeah. Close.
Oh.
Damn. Oh.
Nice.
Damn. God damn. Oh. Takedown.
Oh! What the? Bro, what was that?
Oh my god, dude.
Oh my god. What just happened?
Dude,
did he get like shouldered or something?
Dude, I think it was a hook that like pushed him back. Oh my god. See, he's like somewhat engages and then backs up and slows down, but damn.
Ooh,
dude, look at
wow.
that. He hits him and just leaves. Oh my god. Oh no!
Oh no!
Jesus Christ.
That was close, bro. That was close. Damn, bro.
Oh my god.
Just please don't lose your confidence.
That's crazy because he was winning the whole round. Oh my god!
Wow, right on the chin.
That's
dude.
Oh my god! Why are you doing that, Volk? Oh my god, dude.
Oh.
Dude, that's a strong jab. Oh my god. That's like, he's youth. It's just power. You're just powering through all the hard shots,
Youth, bro.
God.
Oh, wow.
They just barely grazed Diego.
I know.
Oh, oh. Good shit. Oh. God damn. Oh no. Oh, smart.
Was it like an eye poke?
It might have been.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
No, please,
No,
Volk.
God. God damn, the trading.
Bros. Jab.
God
Nice.
damn, bro.
Dude, every time, bro, it's like,
Yeah, bro.
every time he goes back a little bit, it's like kind of scary.
Yeah. God damn.
Oh my God!
God
Please
damn.
please be careful. Please be careful, Volk.
God damn. Volk's like, no, I'm not gonna just entertain this shit. Oh.
Dude, he still leaves his chin up there, bro.
Nah, dude, Volk's too smart to be doing shit like that. Damn. That's how it has to be Volk, right?
Yeah,
I would say
sure,
Volk. I'm keeping
sure,
playing,
bro.
guys, but
For sure.
we were right. Did it. We were right.
We got it right. Oh my goodness.
What was this you were saying right before, dude? Huh?
Well, actually, it's not on video. What are you talking about? There's no proof.
There's no. We know it stays in
Dude.
this room.
Dude.
The great. Oh, Jesus. Hey, I'll read back from reacting to UFC 314's main event, Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes. Shout out to Volkanovski for once again becoming the champ of the featherweight division. Jason, how good does it feel to not get our predictions fucked, bro?
Dude, it feels amazing, dude. We actually, the thing is, we actually got it right, too. That's crazy.
I
We
know.
both said the same thing, and that's exactly what happened. But, man, bro, it was a stressful fight to watch. It was it was a lot more challenging than expected, than we're normally used to seeing. You know, I think George was a little upset every time Joe Rogan would say something about like, oh, he's still countering very well when he was like in a firefight.
Yeah.
But
I was like, Joe Rogan, shut the fuck up. Stop jinxing that shit. Save it for the podcast, please.
Oh my gosh,
please, bro.
But dude, he did good, man. He was still there were a lot of good signs of the old Volk again, and we got to see that really well. But I mean, dude, this only thing that really this shows is that these up and coming fighters are like evolving fast.
Yeah.
Like on another level, because we've seen Volk have like destroy all of his opponents, right?
Yeah.
In all of his title defenses and everybody that he's fought.
Yeah.
He's destroyed them. This one was a battle. This one was like, it wasn't close, but it was like, dude, there was a firefight.
Yeah.
And you can see it on both their faces as well. And even just drop Volk for someone that didn't get dropped at all before the last two fights, like,
Yeah.
you know, it was crazy to see, man. And dude, I'm just so happy that, you know, this wasn't a card where all the young people were winning, because we you know, I'm not gonna lie, man, that's what it was leading to. it seemed like, you know, Yair won. Yair was 32. Pitbull was like 36.
Yeah.
And then what was the Michael Chandler and Patty Pimblett.
Yeah.
Patty Pimblett won.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh man. And I even told George, I was like, I don't know, man. All these young people are winning. Does that mean we're gonna see Diego with the belt today? I'm just happy that didn't happen. So.
It's not Alexander the Old, it's Alexander the Great, brother.
You're right.
It's Alexander the Great. But no, that was honestly though, the youth really actually look. I'm gonna be honest. There was a lot of shots where I felt like that would have knocked out a bunch of other fighters at featherweight, but Diego just ate that shit, bro. Mm-hmm. So honestly, I think that what kept Diego in there was his tenacity, his grit,
heart,
his heart. But what he could have done better was actually throw some more leg kicks to low to kind of mix up. He really didn't throw really much anything. He didn't wrestle or anything like that. He kind of sucked just defensive wise, and he was waiting for his home run moment. He was waiting for the bob, but Volk is too good, bro. Volk is too good.
I think he was hoping for more like a firefight type where he can just knock him out.
Right.
But I mean, I think that's where the game plan and the maturity comes into play, because Volk was very disciplined.
Yeah.
And he kept it at range. Throw a lot of jabs. Like, that's another thing. Diego wasn't like throwing a lot as much as Volk was, and I think that's what really made Volk win the fight. Was just the amount. And I think you even mentioned this. You said like Volk was gonna win by pressure, by
volume and pressure.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. It was just the pressure. the pressure and the volume.
What? The MMA YouTuber that breaks down MMA? What? Unheard of, bro. Unheard of.
Dude, I mean,
what is this channel called? Never Bored With What MMA? What the fuck? Man. What the fuck?
Look, man. I mean, you did call that too, and I was like, yeah, that's exactly what happened the whole fight. It was just him being able to keep the pressure on him and mixing it up very well with the kicks.
Right.
And like you said, like Diego wasn't throwing a lot of kicks. He threw it here and there. And I think just off of points, and I mean, if you even look at like the damage and like the significant strikes, Volk was like outlanding him by a lot.
I mean, Volk did like a whole well-rounded approach to this fight.
Yeah.
I mean, listened to his coaches, unlike what Michael Chandler did. Like, he actually listened to his coaches, kept circling around, did everything he needed to kind of solidify his win. I think for me, this goes down to, like, this was such a big jump for Diego.
Yeah.
Like, it honestly seems kind of unfair, just because, like, you're going against, like, look, honestly, like, what we doubted Volk coming in was that, like, okay, he's older, you know, he's had 2 knockouts, but, like, we forgot the key element, which gave us anxiety, is that he was a champ, for a long-reigning champ. Was. Yeah. And he proved that, like, he can adjust and get that mental aspect up to where he can do what it takes. He was there were some times where he was in trouble. Mm-hmm. He didn't let the moment get to him where it was like, I'll just fire a fight back. We saw when he got his graze in the eye. He was very good at just being reactive and then getting out of the way and not letting Diego have his game plan go off. Because Diego's game plan was just, bro, I'm going to get you in a firefight and I hit you, you're done.
Hit you, you're
and there were times when that happened, and, you know, against, you know, Volkanovski's warrior-like tendencies, he was very strategic. Backed out of it. Like, even we saw at the end of the fight, Diego's trying to egg him on, do all that shit, hit him, and then, like, Volk's like, I'm just going to jab, get out of the way, and just keep hooking you when I have a chance.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to... Even if there was a firefight, Volk was very smart about those exchanges. After the second round, which is arguably the one that... I'm for sure Diego probably won that one.
Yeah.
From that drop. Even though Volk dominated the whole round, basically.
He did. Yeah.
But Volk, you know, he got dropped, and he realized, okay, like... And that was the very end. Like, all right, I got to make sure that, like... If I'm putting this in a compromised position, that I can get out of it.
Yeah.
So even then, when he got later on, he got, you know, poked in the eye, well, grazed in the eye with one of the punches. He still was very stuck on his plan, which is very good, because that shows his tremendous growth between his fight against the 2 fights against Islam and the loss against Ilya, right?
Yeah.
So where he knows now, it's like, all right, like, rather than like risking a cool move to get a knockout, I'm just going to put myself in a position where I'm going to get hurt like that and really just push forward. And then, look, I think Diego's plan potentially was to save that steam for the later rounds, but it turns out once Volk has his game plan going, he just overtook the whole fight.
Oh, for sure.
Even when, and that's the thing is, though, like, Volk is such a well-rounded fighter in this aspect. He attempted the wrestling for all his constant feigning, his back-and-forth pendulum motion. And every time, like, Diego, huge exchange, rather than just lay on the fence, he would immediately circle back to the center of the octagon, establishing control, range, and distance so well. And, I mean, those are the kind of skills that you get from being so dominant early on and being just a fighter for so long.
Yeah.
And then like you see why Volk was a champ and is a champ now.
Yeah.
He's very cerebral in those hard moments.
Yeah.
And I think those later fights before this fight kind of showed that like okay, like he may have lost that bit a little bit just because maybe he drank his own Kool-Aid, getting old, or just such a massive consistent fight schedule.
Yeah.
He's no time to fully rest. But now you see a well rested, well adjusted, and he went up against a fucking bull, dude.
Yeah.
Like that, Diego Lopes was no joke. That's
He's
why
not.
he
That's
rose
what
up
I'm
really quickly. But you know, his Volk's experience, tenacity, belief in himself, and just being super strategic in those. It's easy to be strategic leading up to a fight and those dull moments, but being strategic in the heat of battle, whole lot different. And you saw in those moments that rather than just attempt to please the crowd or whatever, he just fought his fight that he needed to do. Fantastic fight.
But he still didn't make it boring. Like he was still very he was aggressive
active
when he needed to be,
Yeah.
but still controlled.
Right, and then like he put that pressure, put that volume, gave Diego different things to think about, and then he would still try to go for the knockout. You see some of those hooks that were going in there, bro.
Crazy,
And I was like, holy shit, bro! Like this is the Volk of old, and that's why we're kind of anxious because Joe Rogan's like gassing him up, like you're gonna jinx it, Joe.
As
Please.
soon as he's still countering effectively, immediately he counters not effectively.
Yeah,
And then
he's just
it's
like,
not, yeah.
He's like, oh God, please.
Yeah, dude, it was nerve wracking to watch, but man, what a show by Volk to get the belt back and like just be able to like he said in the post fight discussion, he said, you know, like just getting through adversity and being able to get to this level is
he said adversity is a privilege.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, like, because that's a great mindset to look at it. Because it's like, you can let the shit that you go through. And he has a legitimate reason from the shit he went through to let him bog him down, right? After his, close fight against Islam, lost, knockout next time, knockout Ilya. And then him talking about being like, oh, I don't feel myself unless I'm going to fight, ready to fight. And this is the first time he had to kind of take a pause, step back, and like really adjust himself. And so like, dude, like, that's such a fantastic mindset, dude. Like, cause like, adversity is there for you to conquer, and that's why it's a privilege. Cause once you've conquered it, you learn from it, you become better. And Volk embodies that. He lived up. It was easy to be great on a win streak, but to come back after that, he really showed what it means to be great tonight. And it's crazy, bro. Cause there are moments where it was such a great fight, back and forth in a lot of ways. But dude, he really separated himself from the bunch once again.
He did, man. What a great fight, man. And
yeah.
I'm so happy he's a champ, and I'm just excited to see what happens next.
Yeah, dude. I mean, honestly, I was hoping he'd retire just so like we could get in on a high, but Volk still got that dog in him, so we'll see. I don't know, man. Let's look. Ilya's vacated, so Volk is the champ now. We don't need to see Max Holloway 6, 5, whatever. I mean, it could be Movsar Evloev with the wrestling. Yair needed one more fight, but
no, I think it's Yair. Because remember at the end of the
Hunter
the fight,
said he'd be a champ.
Yeah,
Oh, true.
So it's probably going to be Yair and Volk fighting for the belt.
Which guess what? Volk's going to be wrestling and ground and pounding again, which is going to be cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, even though the first fight, Volk was very dominant.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind seeing it again just to see Volk win again.
True.
But
true. I think Diego should go up against Movsar again, just so that he can get that W on his card against him, and then if they meet up later down the line, it's a good trilogy. I mean, Diego, honestly, if worst case Volk wants to take some time, Yair.
What, Diego and Yair?
Yeah, for what was it, for title elimination?
Honestly, that's actually wouldn't be a bad idea because they have a little beef too. So.
Yeah, I only put Movsar over that just because he's the next after Diego and has a higher ranking than Yair. So there's that. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, Volk has. I guess it just really depends on what the UFC wants to do, but there's some options out there. A little bit.
Would you want him to fight either Yair, Mozaev, or Diego again? That's really the only options. I don't want to see Max Holloway fight again. He moved up.
No, he moved up. Yeah.
Unless Ilya wants to come back down.
Nah, I don't think he would.
All right, sorry guys.
I don't think Ilya. He literally has said he was having a hard time with the weight cut. So I don't.
So does everybody, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Sorry, I don't want to be an asshole like that.
So does everybody. What's my name?
Everybody gets. It's the weight cut, bro. It's the hardest part of the fight except the fight. So.
I mean,
unless you're heavyweight.
Yeah, true. But I don't know, bro. I think it's probably going to be Yair next because I mean that's kind of what Yair mentioned in the press the post fight discussion was that Campbell said he was going to fight whoever the winner of the fight was. So
we'll see. I mean, Dana and them make decisions.
They might change it. They might change it.
I would say for Volk, in terms of a new challenge, Evil, just because the grappling is there, but
I don't know.
I'm excited for more Yair or Diego again. I would like those fights.
That would be a good fight. I would like to see them fight each other too. That'd be kind of nice.
Yeah.
But it's a little weird because Yair is coming off a win versus Diego coming off a loss, so it's like
true.
But it also might just build up for the fight against Volk.
Yeah. So. True.
A lot of good options here, man.
And if for some reason Volk doesn't fight, dude, Yair versus Diego would be such a crazy fight. You got a bull versus the Ilya's the matador, but still, you know, like, but you know, Yair's just so good at the counter, so slick with it, you know, like that just would be a great fight to see.
It would be a good fight. I'd be very happy to see that fight because it's a good matchup.
Yeah, for sure.
So interesting to see what will happen, but the featherweight division is looking great, man, and I'm just happy that Volk is the champ again.
For sure.
It feels like old times.
Yeah, dude. The classic, the golden age. The golden age of MMA. I mean, dude, when Volk was champ, it was a good-ass time. Think about Izzy was champ. Kamaru was champ. Like, who else?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it kind of felt like that was going... It's been kind of going downhill for that. Like, all the champs that we've known, we've seen, like, watched them, you know, fighting and seeing them being so dominant. Like... It's not like that anymore. Like, you know, even last one, Pereira losing.
Yeah.
It's just been, like, kind of going back to, like... No, not back to, but it's, like, now these up-and-comers are, like, coming...
Taking it up, and it's not, like, there's no characters or anything like that in the sport anymore like that, which is fine, but, you know... At the same time, you know, you want to see that exciting factor, and Volk always brought that, you know? So, I was definitely going to be crazy to see what happens next. Well, guys, you got a reaction UFC 314's main event. Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes. Congratulations to both fighters, but big congrats to the great once again coming back. Thank you, Volk. Making my predictions seem real good right now. Oh! Thank you. Thank you so much. Guys, give us your reaction to this fight. Did you guys love this fight as much as we did? Did you think it was exciting? What's next for both these fighters? Give us your thoughts below. I'm your host, George, my co-host here.
Jason.
Y'all have a good one. Peace. Oh, give this video a like and subscribe. Because guess what? Our predictions get better the more you subscribe.